waste to wealth, the ThermoMasterPlant. In much the same way that the steam engine changed manufacturing, the telephone changed communication, and the jet engine changed transportation, Thermotech technologies will forever change the way we dispose of organic waste. Yet, as revolutionary as this process is for turning waste into a high-valued recycled product, it is also beautifully simple. It's as simple as the one-celled microbes which attack the waste in a controlled environment. This 155-degree Fahrenheit fermentation process converts supermarket, restaurant, and sewage treatment plant wastes into a protein-rich animal feed supplement and fertilizer. This natural recycling process allows a ThermoMasterPlant to obtain revenue from the front end and the back end of the manufacturing process. You see, today, the closing of unlined landfills, the failure of smelly composting facilities, and the public concern over the emissions and toxic ash of garbage incinerators has driven up the price of the remaining disposal space. Prevailing tipping fees for waste average over $100 per ton throughout the U.S. and Canada. By remaining at the conservative price of $55 per ton, a ThermoMasterPlant can be profitable in the very first year, even without the significant revenues from the sales of the recycled animal supplement manufactured from the organic waste. The attractive economics of a ThermoMasterPlant are described by corporate president René Bronconnier.
They gross approximately a little over $3 million a year. They net $1.5 million. It's a payback within the 3-year period. And the more the tipping fees go up, the more the revenue plant produces, because we receive revenue from both sides of the plant. Sell the end product as a feed concentrate because it's been pre-digested, which means it's already been broken down for the animals. Plus, it's got a very high energy factor. And energy is the most expensive thing in making a feed ration.
The end products of a ThermoMasterPlant are high-value recycled materials used for animal feed and fertilizer concentrate. Unlike newspapers, corrugated cardboard, and plastic bottles, where markets have often collapsed in the past, the recycled material from a ThermoMasterPlant is in great demand worldwide. It was this predictable cash flow at the front and the back end of the plant that convinced Ralph Petruzzo of upstate New York's Saratoga County to become a joint venture partner in the world's first ThermoMasterPlant.
Well, I'm happy to say that we have basically sold all of our finished product at 100% capacity already. We generate a tremendous amount of material, but relatively speaking to the amount of protein supplements that are out there, we're a fraction of a percent in our marketplace. There is a tremendous amount of protein used in any area, from a mushroom farm utilizing it for protein in its compost to a chicken farmer in a grain mill making his feed supplement. So it's a tremendous, and of course we're under contract to sell 100% of our capacity to a commodity broker.
The modern ThermoMasterPlant has overcome the common failings of other solid waste facilities when they have tried to manage leachate, odors, flammable gases, and infectious diseases. None of these dangerous side effects are present in the controlled environment of the Thermotech digesters. The naturally occurring thermophilic or heat-loving bacteria break down the organic waste into single-cell proteins in the sealed digesters for a period of 1 to 2 days. At the end of that time, the remaining fermented protein is placed into a huge centrifuge where the leachate is drawn off and itself recycled into the initial holding tanks. Then the processed protein is dried by forced hot air and is now ready to be delivered in bulk to feed hogs, chickens, and other domesticated farm animals.
Well, you're going to want pre-selected waste coming into these materials, but a variety of waste. Our bacteria are natural bacteria, and they thrive on a balanced diet, the same as a human being does. So if it's clean, and we know that it's not going to be 100% clean, that's why we have a tipping floor there. We will do a little bit of source separation. The odd bit of tramp material that gets through there, plastics, papers, things of that nature, are not a problem anyway. They get ground up and go through the process.
So the ThermoMasterPlant is as easy as a tip floor, a grinder.
When the unit first starts, it operates in reverse. The idea being that any material that might be in there is kicked out and then reground again. Also, if it has a problem with something, it will stop, reverse, kick it out, and then start to chew at it again.
A holding tank?
Once the material has been liquefied and ground up in that primary area, it is then transferred into one of these storage tanks. While in the storage tanks, it will be continually ground and pumped through using these jet pumps to further reduce the particulate size, and also we introduce air in to keep it turbulent, to keep everything in suspension.
Primary digester, secondary digester, centrifuge, and dryer.
A slug of material is transferred from the storage tanks into the primary fermenter, overflows to the secondary fermenter, and then overflows down to the storage tanks, which are down the back of the plant. Once the fermentation process is complete, then the material is transferred into these two digestate storage tanks. We then, through these positive cavity pumps, pump the material up into what's called a centrifuge. The supernatant, the moisture, drops down into this 10,000-gallon tank, which you're standing beside here now. The dry material, I say dry, it's about 25% solid, is transferred over the cross from that blue conveyor down into the thermal dryer.
From waste to wealth, this patented process is the future of the solid waste conversion business, and the future is here today. ThermoTech truly is the emerging leader in waste conversions.